Hey guys, Ash here from the Goodison Blues, and I hope you are having a very, very good Saturday. And I think after today's game, we are indeed having a very good Saturday. This is the max reaction for Everton against Chelsea. The game was just literally finished just now. Big Dunk's first game in charge. Um, I think we're all wondering what the team was when it was going to come out. But I think the big shock for us all, we saw Umar Nias was on the substitutes bench. No, the game did finish 3-1. The game we're up into 14th position now. Obviously, we can't get too carried away, but it was a very, very strong performance. It's just a pity maybe Umar didn't get on at the end when we were 3-1 up, just to give him a couple of minutes, because he did have 6 minutes of injury time, so it would be nice to see him on the pitch. We lined up with a kind of a 4-4-2 formation. I thought we might stick with the kind of a 5-3-2, but we already mean it not making it through to the team. I believe he has a hamstring injury. We ended up kind of going with a 4-4-2 kind of situation. What I thought, maybe just because it's the TV cameras and the speakers, when we announced Duncan Ferguson, and he came up the tunnel, there wasn't the biggest cheer. Now, there was a cheer, so maybe it was just me, maybe it was just a TV screen. I thought, okay, the whole crowd was going to erupt, but boy, did that change later on in the game. Anyway, the game did finish 3-1. A perfect start, just coming into the 5th minute, and an absolute whipper of a ball by Sidibe. And Richarlison yet again with another header, proving that he can score with his head. So that's 3 goals now. The last couple of games he has scored with his head. What a great header it was, and then the crowd just erupted. And then to see Duncan Ferguson running down the touchline, punching. Then he's lucky nobody was in his way. He was just punching the air, ran down the whole touchline. And after we scored the goal, we pressed and we pressed, and the Chelsea players were doing their bit to kind of rough us up. And I think the kind of crowd, it did come down a little bit, because I think we felt that, okay, we're gonna lose, like we do if we do usually go ahead. The concentration comes down, but actually it didn't. We kept on going, and then around the 11th or 12th minute, Walcott put in an absolutely lovely ball, but just that little bit too much on it, and Richarlison was sliding in, and just literally it just glanced past him, and it could have made it 2-0. Another chance came on round 4 or 5 minutes later. Walcott and DCL was in, and Walcott put DCL, should I say, in, and he smashed the ball at Kepa in the Chelsea goal. But then we got a huge fright. I don't know, it was just a minute after Chelsea went up the other end, and I don't know what Michael Keane was doing, but he was obviously deciding where to get the ball back to Pickford, and he completely made a mess of it. And only for the fact that the Chelsea players made a mess of it, it could have easily have been 1-1. But what I found, especially in the first half, was the heart and the passion of the players. They were there, they were running around the place. Even Sigurdsson was running around that pitch, and he was battling like crazy to try and keep ourselves, from losing any of the games. Losing any of the balls. He didn't do much attacking wise, but Sigurdsson was better defensively as far as I was concerned today. 24 minutes in or so, kind of 25 minutes in, Richarlison went down, and he was down for a couple of minutes, and I think we were all thinking, oh, here we go now. We're getting somewhere here, and we're going to end up losing, players through injury. We did see kind of a glimpse of Moise Keane was standing up, and he was, taking off the bib, and we all thought, okay, he's going to just warm up and come on. But thankfully it wasn't needed. Willian then, a few minutes later, put a ball in, and what's the guy, Abraham, it was a bullet header, but it was a bullet header to the side. It wasn't direct on goal, and it just flashed past the goal, so it could have easily have been an equaliser, and it went out. But here's now, you're going to go, oh, here's action now, there's negativity. As the half went on, we returned back to this silent Park effect that seems to creep in, and it's every game. Whether we win, losing, or drawing, we seem to just fade away. Now, as I said, it can't be just the fact of where the microphones are in the ground, because you watch any other game, you can hear like even at Goodison Park, the game against Norwich when we were losing 2-0, you can clearly hear the small away fans in the corner. So it's got something to do with the fans, and it's nothing to do with this season. This was happening last season and the season before. We need to get out of this habit of just cheering whenever something's happening. Let's keep behind the team, keep behind, what we did today. Obviously, after the goals went in, the song started ringing around Goodison Park again, and that's the way we need to keep it throughout the game. I know we all can't sing for the whole 90 minutes because you're concentrating on the game, but at least as a good crowd doing it and keeping it going, we can actually keep that atmosphere going in the ground. Luca Dean got booked in for a silly foul he didn't need to give away. Mason Mount had a shot that was blocked. Actually, in the whole game, I think 2 shots by Mason Mount were actually blocked by Mason Holgate. So I suppose you could say Holgate had Mount in his pocket for the game. Walcott had a chance to volley a shot. Now, obviously, he could have went over the bar. He could have skied it, to the right hand side. But this is something I've mentioned before with Theo Walcott, is that he does all the trickery stuff and gets into positions, but then there could be a simpler way. Instead of just hitting that volley, that's what I would have done. I would have hit the blast. He tried to flick it over the defender and made a complete mess of it, and the defence got back and cleared it. And it just seems to me that he has the chances to, when he sees a simpler ball, he kind of doesn't do it, and it means that he's done it in a few other games. Not just, he had obviously not, this is well before the Liverpool and the Leicester game. He's done it in other games where he's trying to flick the ball over to get round players, and it doesn't always work for him. Actually, a lot of the time, it doesn't actually work. Richarlison got booked in just before half time, and a stupid, not that it was a stupid tackle. It looked like he got the ball when you first watch it, but I think he got the yellow card for the attempt because it was pretty much he was tackling from behind, and obviously, as you know, you tackle from behind, you are taking the risk of the wrath of the referee. As I said before, Sigurdsson, I felt he was really good today, and as we got a nice round of applause at half time. As we went in 1-0. Now you could still clearly, as we kicked off the second half, we were all wondering how it was going to play out because of the passion, the pace, the energy that was put into that first half. If we would keep it going, as that the second half kicked off, the Silent Park thing just crept back in again, and I was going, oh, here we go again. But thankfully, within 3 or 4 minutes of the second half, DCL battled for the ball. However, he won the ball back. He turned and shot and got past Kepa in the Chelsea goal. And the funny thing was, it went to a VAR check, and I don't know why. There was no clear hand, but there was no foul. There's no nothing. I don't know why it was even looked at for a VAR check. If for some reason they didn't, Van Dijk's challenge on DCL in the derby didn't even go to a VAR check. Well, this had not even a percentage of going to near VAR, but it went to VAR anyway. It was cleared, and we were 2-0 up. Sadly, this time around we did switch off, and the what do I call it? The first goal for your club syndrome that we seem to have. Kovacic got his first goal for Chelsea against Everton. We seem to have this, unfortunately. Now he walled a first time effort, and I haven't seen the replay of it, but I'm not too sure if Pickford could have made a better go of it to save it. But it brought us back down to earth, and I suppose we were all thinking, oh, here we go again. My nerves were shot, and I was hands on my head going, oh, here we go again now. We're going to end up losing the 3-1, 3-2, 4-2. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, we almost had a screamer by Schneiderlin. Just before the hour mark, Sidibe somehow got the ball back with just immense pressure on the defender, won the ball back. It fell to Walcott, and he kind of did a few tricks. His shot was blocked by defence. It fell out to him, and you could just see he was setting himself up. And I had my hands up like this, going, "Here we go. This is going to be an absolute." But he just missed. He just didn't get the technique right, and it just curled a good bit to the left hand side of the goal. Now he got the height right. It just kind of blazed. Plays wide, and I think we're all hoping this is going to be an absolute belter, because we all know, some fans are, like Schneiderlin, and some don't. They don't rate him too high, and they don't want him in the side. But obviously, with our midfield crisis that we're having with injuries, obviously he's pretty much going to be in the game, most of the games. But it would have been deadly if that went in. Then we had this 10-minute spell. It just battled inside the centre of the park. It wasn't really getting to either end of the pitch, and you're wondering how this game was going to fade out and when changes were going to be made. Tom Davies came on for Richarlison. Was it 20 minutes to go, and Richarlison didn't look impressed at all when he went off. Especially, as soon as he saw the number 7 go up on the board, I think he had a few shakes of the head. But strangely enough, straight after that, Luca Dean, who I think had a great game, he whipped in a ball, and it was near enough Davies' first touch almost. He flung himself. It was like a Duncan Ferguson diving header style. He flung himself at the ball and completely missed it. So basically, what Richarlison did in the first half, it just flew past his head. I don't know how he didn't make any contact with it whatsoever. But it was a wonderful cross by Digne, and I just pity now that Richarlison wasn't there at the time, to head that home. And then that brought us into the final quarter of the game, and Kepa had cleared the ball, if I remember correctly, to, I think it might have been Zuma, and DCL battled and put pressure on him, and he won the ball back, and he saw Kepa off his line and went for a chip, to lob the goalkeeper. Fortunately, didn't come off for him, but at least he wasn't afraid to take it on and have a go at that. Then we entered the last kind of 10 minutes. Digne went off. He was off for he went to the side for a couple of minutes. He was holding his hamstring, so let's hope that it's not very, very serious. It was precautionary, hopefully. And Leighton Baines got the last 10 minutes or so in the game. And then thankfully, it all ended. 84th minute. Whatever Kepa was doing, we'll say thanks very much, Kepa. Whatever he was doing, he passed the ball out. It completely got mistaken by the defence. Walcott ran in then, and after doing this bit of trickery, he did find Davies. Davies kind of poked and shot, kind of whatever it is, the way the ball kind of ricocheted a bit, and it fell to DCL, and he poked it home and made it 3-1 to Everton. And straight after that then, actually Duncan Ferguson, his celebrations with the second goal, he absolutely riveted down the touchline, grabbed the ball boy and started a hug-a-thon. And then once that third goal went in, he was hugging everybody. So now we're going to have this thing now. Every time Everton score a goal, we're going to have a hug-a-thon. every time he scores a goal, we get a goal at Goodison Park. Straight after then, Bernard came on for the last couple of minutes. Then hands on hearts went, here we go. And they announced 6 minutes of injury time. And not that they had chances to score, but Chelsea put pressure on in those 6 minutes to, possibly get one goal back. But thankfully, the final whistle went. We're up to 14th place, and definitely a hell of an improvement. Sidibe had a great game, I felt, today. Apart from the mistake that Michael Keane had, I thought Michael Keane had a pretty decent game. Holgate, we could say, had Mason Mount in his pocket, because he blocked not once but 2 of his chances. Actually, the first one he had was a lovely kind of a curler. If he just had that technique just right, it would have spun past the defence and into that corner. We had another one. Pickford after I think it was the same instance that Holgate blocked the second one. The ball came back out, and I don't know who it was. It could have been Kovacic. Blasted one, and Pickford was right at the post and was able to tip it over the bar. So yes, it's finished 3-1. And the best news for that is, not only is it getting up the table, but for you guys who are at the Mercantile today with the Goodison Blues Christmas party. Sadly, again, because it's a Saturday game, work commitments, I said I'm back off the bed now. But hope you all have a great time. This has been the match reaction for Everton 3, Chelsea 1.